Hi. Hey guys. So, um, hi. Um, I want to talk to y'all for a little bit. I know so many people are confused. So am I. So I just want to talk to you for a little bit. And I just appreciate if you can hear me out, especially if you're just getting to this platform and you don't know what's going on and you're like, I kind of heard your story and I'm catching on through some things. So just thank you for being here. But if you could just hang in with me just for a little bit because I don't have that long to explain things right now. Um, yeah. Where can you watch the documentary? Allie'sArmy.com. That's it. Um, I'm gonna pray first. So if you don't pray, I believe in Jesus and we've already been over it. Well, I do. I've seen him work, and a lot of y'all have seen him work in these last 2 years. So, Father God, we thank you for this time. I thank you for another moment to be able to speak Jesus, and I just ask that you put a hedge of protection over us as we have this live. Open the ears and the hearts of many, Father God, and just please let your will be done, um, whatever that is, because I don't know. So in the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Um, I said I was gonna do this live, and honestly, like I don't know if you can see it or not. Do you see this? I am sweating, and like, and I'm not like I'm not I'm not usually this is bad, but I am like I'm really overwhelmed. So I said that this might be a family friendly live. So can you just hang on with me, and I pray that this stays a family friendly live. But if it doesn't, maybe you can watch it first and then decide if your kids are gonna watch it. Let's do that. Let's do that. Um, a lot of you know me as Allie. Um, some of you know me as Leilani. Um, Unfortunately, some know me as the name that my pimps used to call me, and I don't want to go there. I hate that name. Um, Dissociative identity disorder is a real legal medical diagnosis that I have, and so do many others. You've watched so many people like Britney Spears, and I bring up this name, and I don't like to name drop because I feel like some people get so distracted by the other real things that they get so wrapped up in what could be the elite mentality that they need, and I'm not into that. So if you could just follow me for a little bit because I need to get this out. Um some people know me as the one who likes to I'm really sensitive. I'm not always sensitive, as some can see. Um it's not just like a personality thing. Um it was once called by multiple personality disorder, and switched to DID, but I don't think people really know what that means, what they're looking at, why. The reason of splits or trauma to the brain that your mind has to move in a way to protect you. I don't think people understand that, or why or how it's made. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to get in a little bit of time. So I'm really sweaty because I'm going to try to spit some things out and I don't have that long. So thank you for just bearing with me for a second. But some people know me as Aria. Um, and for me, things kind of stopped moving when I was 13. So 13. So I might turn my comments off for a second because I really want to know that you guys can hear me on Instagram. But there will be a question section left, and I'll try to turn these back on if I shut them off. But can y'all please just try to just bear with me for a second, because when the comments start moving, then people get distracted by what's serious that's going on, and I really just want to talk to you. We did a live event this past weekend, and I thank God that we're still here. We Angels, everybody thinks that the 90s Nation News, at first they thought they were fake. At first people thought, when we kept saying, like, a lot of people were, they're not real, they don't take help, they the rumors, the lies, I can't keep up. But the big thing was that we didn't take help, and that's far from the truth. We didn't take help, we didn't acknowledge, and we threw it in six and backed the hell up from people who we could see right through, and maybe a lot of you couldn't. I don't necessarily regret. I do. I was really upset at some of the interviews we did. So was Maddie. So was Allie. On a video, a lot of us were like we don't have the time to run a background check. But the point is to get the message out, because we don't want anything else from that. I'm not a money person. When I said this was a family-friendly live, I'm going to try my best not to cry. But I really want to talk to my kids in ways that some of you don't know. My kids, my dance kids. I was a dance teacher. I have been a dancer in the wrong ways all my life. I was always put into performing arts schools and made to perform and be this entertainer in a backwards way. Never seen any of the money. It's always something that somebody used me for. So when I was adopted and I started seeing that there was a normal way to the dance world, I went ahead and jumped in it when someone asked me to volunteer for a studio one day. And I'm not a studio person either. As some of you know, I braided hair for foster kids on my days off. I worked at numerous studios, from the Inland Empire to Los Angeles to the high desert. I had a following that I built with my bare hands, and so at the end of the event, a lot of stuff happened, and we ran out of time. And sorry, I'm just gonna take a breath. We ran out of time. We had 8 hours to do the event. In those 8 hours, I tried my best to get some other survivors in there so they could speak and tell their stories. We had, you've seen the thing that I posted. If you haven't read the last few posts from my mom, I want angels that were at the event. They're gonna come on soon, and they're gonna give you from them what they saw. I feel like I want to be done. Every time that we have tried to build something, it's gotten torn apart because we've had to start over, because of pimps and Johns and traffickers, people who have had their way with me since I was a baby, so they feel like they still have control. Don't have to tell you that I'm black. Don't have to tell you that I bleed red. But that's what's going on in our world right now, is this minority race war. But my black life doesn't matter to a lot of these people who want to scream race. Sometimes it only matters when a white man or somebody in a political suit says Black Lives Matter, and then people want to hear it. I've told you guys numerous times that I don't really like the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't stand for it. I don't agree with it. And the reason why I don't agree with it is because there's an entitlement that comes with it. Nobody wants to talk about the black children that are in sex trafficking. Nobody wants to talk about the black children that are going through abuse right now. It's hard for black people to acknowledge abuse because a lot of black people were raised that you don't acknowledge abuse. You don't acknowledge depression. You don't acknowledge other things, like if something goes down in the house and it's white shit. If something goes down and it stays in the house and it don't leave the house. If something goes down and it's not, you don't get to go to slumber parties. Some black families, you don't get to go to slumber parties and sleepovers and things like that because they like and then we don't do that. The first thing that some black people want to holler is not in my house, not my kids. If you were to talk about depression, anxiety, abuse, things of those sorts, satanic ritual abuse, if you want to talk about it in the black community, they will hush you. It doesn't just happen in the black community. So please don't think that this conversation is going towards a race thing, because my mama is white. Y'all know that. I got a rainbow family. So I don't give a shit about any of that. And a lot of my friends that are still in this life, that are dead and can't speak for themselves, they're every single color. So I don't really do that shit, because when I was being abused, it was black on black crime a lot. There's a lot of black on black crime that goes on. Nobody wants to talk about that. If things go down in a black church, we don't talk about that. When you grow up after being, if an uncle comes over, something happens and you wearing a tank top around the house and somebody looks at you the wrong way, then it's you being fast or you smelling yourself. And by the time you get older, you don't know what's up and what's down. You don't know how to accept your emotions. You don't know how to deal with your emotions. You don't know how to acknowledge that something may be anxiety if something is hurting you. You don't know how to acknowledge depression and anger and stuff like that. You don't know how to do that stuff because you've never been able to do it in the household that you were supposed to feel safe in. My biological, I use that word loosely because I know that's a lie. My surrogate is what I called her. She was nothing close to a real woman. And I pray to God that one day you watch these videos, because I want you to know how less of a woman you are and what I turned into compared to what you are. It just makes me happy sometimes to know that finally I'm not you. And everybody that was associated and had their hand in my life, a black hand in my life, they were wicked and evil. And some of them, a lot of you idolize to this day. The black community does not want to step up to abuse. They won't. If you can fight somebody about it, maybe. If you can shoot somebody about it, maybe. To deal with it, to stand in it, to actually have something to say about it, no. And if you do, and a little bit too much with the morally correct, then some people call you whitewashed. Somebody brainwashed you. Somebody whitewashed you. It was the white man. No, it was also the black man. It was the Mexican man. It was the white man. It was the Asian man. It was the Hawaiian man. It was the indigenous man. We can keep going on and on and on and on, but see how it leaves and distracts the focus from trafficking and from the children? There was so many people were tagged, and we had an interview with a lot of people that I can't say that I regret it. I'm glad that a lot of people seen it. We were used as stink bait. I think we've been stink bait to a lot of things. And some people finally realized, like, oh, they were not who they said they were. And they were not who they said they were. And it's shocking, but at the same time, it's like, you didn't see the money? You didn't see the agenda? It's one thing to say I gotta make a living. It's another to say I gotta be greedy. And I'm jumping, so I hope you can stay with me. But so we thought we'll do this live event, get it over with. As I'm sitting there through church service, because we had to have church, there is no other way to not bring God into what he has built. I can't do that. I've seen it. So I couldn't not have church. Has that no ID? No. Okay, cool. So as I'm sitting through second service and I'm sitting in there with everybody, one of the angels leaned over to me and she's like, "What are you thinking?" And she's like, "What are you about to do?" And I'm like, "I don't know," because I had a book of topics to talk about. I was ready to just lay shit out. And it's impossible to do it in a few days. It's impossible to do it in 2 years. You've seen that. It's impossible to make a dent into everything. But she was like, "Whatever you decide to say right now, I need you to make sure that you say it like this is the very last time you speak." And I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Because I'm like, there's so many secrets that I'm scared of that will make me sweat like this, that will my body went into shock after we decided to talk about a military secret, a secret that nobody understands, a secret that people don't really know how to talk about, nobody will talk about, which is MK Ultra, contracts, dissociative identity disorder, and the reason of blueprints. That's what we chose to talk about the most, and sports. People don't want to touch MK Ultra with a 10-foot pole. It's too much. As a teacher, this is where the family friendly live comes in. Hi guys. As a teacher, I never thought I'd be the person that I am today. I built a notebook, and I paid off my car, not with being a dancer. I paid it off being a server at an ice cream parlor a few years ago, but I paid off my car, and I earned my money. I'm not the type of person that I want people to hand me something, because even though like people have used me to make money for a very long time, still now you'll see, if you don't know who I am, my name is Allie, and if you have seen my story somewhere, some people are making money off of it, and I'm not. I don't know how else to be honest with you, so I'm telling you that I'm not. And there's many angels that can tell you that we are not. It's not like that. I was 90s and 10s come from the fact that I was in school. I'm a kinesiology major. I was a business major, and I wanted to eventually open up my own studio for foster kids and to give back, because I loved dance and I wanted to be the person that I needed. The first time that I walked into a studio was to volunteer, and I fell in love with the fact that somebody asked me to oversee a class, because they were like, "The kids like you, why don't you go in there and oversee a class, because our teacher is running late, whatever, couldn't be there, whatever." I was like, okay, cool. Ran in there, and it totally changed me, because I'm small. So many of you have met us now, so I'm 5 feet tall. I'm 5'1" with shoes on. And that's the first time that I looked at a baby's hands. And that's the first time that as a teacher you have to, like, fix your arms. As a teacher you have to, port bras, like fix your arms, this and that. So that's the first time that I saw a baby's hands like that. And it I almost got to, it all messed me up. It messed me up. And I went home and I just cried and cried and cried and cried. And I was like, Mom, what is wrong with people? Like, how could you? It doesn't make any sense to me, you know? As a Los Angeles choreographer, they make money per kid. They make good money per kid sometimes. When I found out the pricing to be a teacher, at first people were taking advantage of me and I was working for free. I didn't want to charge anybody. I was just like, this is so much fun. Like I'm able to be a mentor and I'm able to talk to people. And I didn't know that I needed to charge insanely for it. I didn't know that. So I was just like, I'm here. Like I don't know. Then I started getting into stuff myself. And like, y'all, I built it. I went to school and that chemistry class that I was in, I was 2 classes away from my degree, which would have meant that I was able to have a degree under my belt. It took 10 years to get through community college and I'm still not done yet. 10 years because I have DID, because of MK Ultra, because of threats, because of attacks, because of pimps coming back and finding out where I was, because we had to move again after so long, because these people are kind of patient with things and they'll attack you and they'll wait and they'll hold on for a second, but they'll still do shit. So people found out where we were and I would move, and we can't control things. So the only thing that we can do is just roll through the punches, right? And that's what we've been doing, but now we've been doing it on here. And I'm not really this type of person either, because I've never been like wanting to meet somebody or talk to somebody based on my life. I hide from it a lot. And I know that my dancers, parents that know me, you know that. There is a dance mom that is still on my page that knows that I chased you down in the rain because I did a private lesson with a kid that just couldn't jump. She had a body issue where she just couldn't jump off the floor. And the choreographers and the people in the studio were just being assholes. I'm sorry, buttholes, excuse me, to her. And they just wouldn't have the patience with her to just teach her how to jump, because that's what she needed in order to follow along into the rest of her classes, right? So I said, I live 2 hours away. I don't care about that. I'll be here and I'll do a 30-minute private lesson and we'll figure out what the problem is so she can perform better everywhere else. It wasn't about my class. It was the child was happier if she was able to get through the things that she needed to get through, right? So I got to the lesson. I charged $30 for 30 minutes. When the parent found out, and after the class, after the lesson, the kid was able to do those things. I called her my Shirley. And she tried to give me extra money for this lesson because she's like, you just took the time to have some patience with her, and I just thank you so much for that. Let me give you a tip. I chased this woman down in the rain because she gave me too much money. And I wasn't down for that. It took me 30 minutes. Yes, I drove 2 hours away. Yes, I needed the gas. Yes, it was nice. But I'm about quality over quantity. And that's been my entire life. I'm not that type of person. So I chased her down in the rain and I told her, you either re-sign this check or you take the money back. Period. Like, I don't want that. I was the type of choreographer that I built shit out of boxes. I did my best to be the person that I needed for a second. I taught special needs children. I miss you. I had an award before I left for dealing with Down syndrome children. I didn't even know that you guys had this award for me. I had to call all of my kids individually and I had to say, hey guys, Miss Sally gotta go. I'm so sorry. I hope I see you soon, right? So a lot of dancers got this call. We're like, okay. I feel like I'm breaking promises and it eats me alive because I feel like I made a promise to the kids that I used to be a kid with, right? And I felt wrong because I didn't hold that promise. Sorry. Um then when I had to leave right now, I tell my dance kids I'll be back, right? After doing all of this, I'm like, what are we going to do? Because everything that we built, I was this close to my degree. I missed the question. I was taking a full semester. I had 2 classes left. I missed the question because 3 dudes tried to walk into the rental we were in. So it was either my family and our lives or that degree. I jumped on the damn door and hurt my shoulder. Do y'all remember that live in 2020? Just was some of y'all here for that? When I had a chemistry test and it was in the beginning and I was like, guys, I'm 90s and 10s came from the fact that I don't like math. I'm horrible with math. I know how to count money and I can tell time, right? And I'm not an equation person. I'm just not. So I was having hell in chemistry and I that's where 90s and 10s comes from, right? And I was studying. So that question was on a timer and my professor was a jackass and I tried to tell him and he was like, you need to do this test. I was like, okay, don't give me any other extra thing. Just can you please open the test back up so I can do it? And he opened it back up. I had one chance to answer those questions. On the last 2 questions, it's the last 2 questions I got wrong. They were worth like 6 points each. And that person tried to come in the door and the timer stopped because I jumped on the door and held it. Because my mom wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. It happened too fast. So a lot of people remember that, right? That was my degree. I spent 10 years in college. That was my degree. That was my business degree. And then I was like, God, what do you want me to do? Because I don't know anymore. Like, I want to be this person. I'm trying my best. I did everything. I was so mad last night because I'm like, Mom, what are we going to do? Like, I could be a kid braider again. But walking into someone's house can be very dangerous right now, even if I change my looks. And then I'm like, okay, but you know the following that I have in the dance world? I'm not a great dancer. I can't, I'm not turning quads, pirouettes into 5 Alice Cones into an axel jump and a calypso to the floor. I'm not, but I can teach it. I'm not. Sometimes I can. Depends on who's up. But me personally, I'm not, right? So you guys are probably like, what is your point? I'm trying to hurry up because I know some people have no attention span to watch this and I'm really trying to spit this out. I was like, what are we going to do? Right? Like, I don't want people to just hand us money. And if I went back to the dance world right now, people would throw money, but not in the right way. And I don't like that. I like to be given something because I earned it. I'm the type of person that's like I've had money and money is just so evil and thrown for nothing or for taking my clothes off and I just wanted to fucking earn it. Excuse me, I just cussed. Sorry. This is supposed to be family friendly. See, I told you to watch this first. but so then I'm like, what are we gonna do, right? And I was braiding hair for foster children for free. And I made them a promise too. And then I keep eating myself up because I'm like, I made that child a promise. I said I was coming back in 3 weeks to do her hair. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years and 3 months. And I think it was longer than that because it was in August or something of 2020. And I told that child because she was like, will you take me home? And I was like, baby, I can't take you home. Like, I'm here to do your hair. And she's like, well, I'm not supposed to be telling her story, but she's like, my parents they were drug addicts and yada, yada, yada. And they told me I'll go home in 6 months. And I'm looking at her like, baby, you're not going home in 6 months. But I can't tell this child that. So I did her hair. And you don't even understand how much that took because I had to find out that she was allergic to coconut oil because her scalp was red. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Because I don't want to braid her hair and irritate her scalp and make it even worse. So I had to run back to the hair store. I ran to the hair store like 3 times because I had to go back and get sulfur 8 medical grease because it was she was allergic to coconut oil. So I then ran back and then I came back and then she's like, I never had my hair done before, and her hair was matted. So then I'm like, maybe that was transference on my part because I'm thinking like my hair used to be matted. And I used to know what it felt like to be bullied in school because I didn't look like the other kids. And then everybody is like, well, my mom is going to do my hair and my dad, and I'm like, I don't have parents. So, and then the ones that I do have hate me. So I ran back and I got her some little blue streaks and we did her hair and I talked to her and I sat on that porch for hours and talked to her down out of freaking out because she lived with a Mexican family. And so, there I go, like, not projecting or transferring, but I'm like, I have to sit here with this child because it means something, right? And she was just like, can you take me home with you? Because she was just like, you care about me, you're so nice to me. And I was like, I can't take you home, but I will be back in 3 weeks to touch up your hair. And then I'll ask your social worker if we can go across the street and get some freaking ice cream from the Dairy Queen that was across the street from her foster home. And then the guy jumped the gate. Promise freaking broken. Again. And I'm like, all right. I am, right? And then I tried to call the social worker and I tried to talk to the social worker and said, can you please just tell her for me? Like, can I have her number? Can I talk to her? And guess what? They moved her. That child sat with me. That child sat with me and talked to me. And I told her I'd be back. You know what I mean? And it hurts when I'm like, I made a promise to somebody who's dead. I've made a promise to children who were just like me. I've made a promise to my dance kids. I made a promise to the foster kids. And now I'm like, what's going on? I keep asking God, like, what is happening? Because now I feel like, and then I made a promise to just be honest. Like, and I want to go back to school. Like, do you hear me? I want to go back to school and I want to finish what I was doing and I want to be that person that I needed. And I don't need to be an media light. I don't want to be an media light. I am not a celebrity. I am nobody like, ooh, you're so big. You know what I mean? It's not like that. And there are people who don't get it. And I think some people don't get it because sometimes I'm smiling or the way that I handle my anxiety is really messed up. It's really dark. But for the shit that I've been through, sometimes it's the only easiest way that I cannot rock in a corner like I just was. So now we're still sitting in this place and I'm trying to figure out who all was at the event, and I need to text some people and Angel, if you're listening to this, thank you for that sweater, and Amber, if you're listening to this, I freaking love you and thank you so much for being there, and Christine and Michael, like, thank you for the pictures. Like, Ashley, girl, I love you. Like like I some people, the response to people going to the event, some people were like, hey, you seen that Allie girl? So she's real? And I'm like, yeah, she's real. Amy, I see you. Like, some people were like, she's real. Yes, I'm real. And I'm I've had a few conversations with the angels that they're like, hey, like, you got to have some patience. God is working. And I'm like, but he's not working fast enough. There's documents outside of Biden's home. Everything is on the internet that you can see. So it's not just what you're hearing from other people. I'm trying my best. I personally, I know that I'm my biggest bully and I don't feel like that's good enough. And I know that something big is going on and I don't know what it is. And so some of the 90s were like, do you want to do another event? Do you want to do it again? And I'm like, yeah, but do you see how much that took? We can't charge people. We're not going to. I can't I can't let you think that money is the mix of this, because money is the root of the evil. Yes, these are everyday people. Everyday people had to come out of their pockets. And people are on tours, 37 states in 3 months, and I'm trying to figure out how this is supposed to go. Because even after this, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not making any sense. I'm trying. This is real life. Somebody just said that. Thank you for saying that. Right. Somebody said, Moonbeam Baby said, the love of money is the root of evil, not money itself. Exactly. Exactly. There's so many things that are not evil. It's the way that it's been flipped. And I feel like the major thing out of everything is the fact that there were real people, real like-minded people in the room together. And many people are so hungry for that truth. Many people don't know that that exists for real. You know? Many people don't know that real people exist. Real truth exists. A real fight is what needs to happen. Don't get distracted by the guns and the mass shootings, and then the way that they want to distract you from what's really wrong, because crimes against humanity is creeping up real close. And every time it gets close enough, then everybody's like, shooting, or celebrity death, or something else that's going to distract people from the truth. I can't say that I regret all the platforms that we've been on, because it's like a lot of you, it brought a lot of you here. It did. So I'm thankful for that. I'm not thankful that I got used as a human shield on within the Stu Peters show. I'm not happy that some people used our interview as a campaign vote on some radio shows. I'm not happy that the way some things have turned out. That wasn't me, and it wasn't the way that I was told it was gonna go down. That's the way that the celebrity mentality and the TV mentality gets misconstrued. Yes, I want to do another live event. I don't want to talk about any more pain. I'm sick of hurting. I have chronic pain issues. My mind is never stopping. Like my thoughts can eat me alive some days. Flashbacks will make my own skin crawl, and my PTSD can take over my whole body in less than a few minutes. And I sometimes I can't pull myself out of a depression or anger. I don't know what's happening. But I'm wondering a few things. Where is the Black community? Because mainly, it's about the fact that there's other children right now that need your voice. A lot of people are so, well, I went outside, but I didn't want to go outside because I was scared, and I couldn't stand outside because I had work, and I didn't want to do this because of this, and nobody went with me, so I didn't want to stand alone, and but when you see these articles of these babies that have been beat and tortured in a home by themselves, when you hear a story from somebody that's saying that I was raped and abused in a neighborhood, everybody is saying, well, I should have did this, and I could have did that, and if I would have known, I would have been right there. And Do you know how many things that are right in front of you, everybody, is just like, it's still not enough. And I don't understand how that's even a thing. I'm not making sense. So let me I feel like I'm breaking promises. And at the same time, every time I feel like we build something, it took me forever to build the teacher that I was. It took me forever to build the trust that I had with kids. It took me forever, and I could, if I walked back into the dance world and just got off social media right now, it wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't go back. The reason why I want to go back, I miss my kids. I promised a lot of you I'd be right back. People won't treat me the same. Some for the good and some for the bad. Because they see something else. And they're not getting the whole picture. I don't know what we're going to do as far as a place to stay, because there's a lot of people that want us dead. I don't know. We can't call those things. We can't. We can do our best dodging them and trying to stay ahead of them. This is exhausting. To go back to being a braider, my pain is unreal sometimes, and I don't know if I could do that either, but we have to do something to take care of ourselves, and we'll figure that part out. I'm not saying that I won't. I'm not a sit behind the desk type of person. I'm like so hyper, so that doesn't work either, but we'll figure it out. If you don't get by now that this is not about money, if you don't get it, that we're not just trying to tell you the truth, if you think that this is still a game, there is no help for you. I don't care if I know some of my enemies are sitting here watching this, waiting for something that you can use or try to throw at me, or ammunition, or however you want to, whatever. Do it. But if you don't understand that God is real, if you don't understand that crimes against humanity is happening, there's kind of no help for you if you don't get it together. I don't need you to get it together for me. I have friends who hate me that are still alive, and I have friends who are dead who say, I'm not suicidal, but there's some days that I wish that I was in their place. Because I'm guilty that I fought so hard to sit here and they're not. You know, my mom has been talking to me a lot about survivor's guilt. And I think that's what's wrong, you know? Because I don't know. My major goal right now if God wants me in a room, we're going to be there, right? If God wants us in that room, then we're going to do what we need to do in that room. If he don't want us in that room, he'll close that door, and we've seen that too. Other survivors need to know that you exist. And after the weekend that we had, I can't wait for this footage to come out, but it's something that you can't fake through a phone. When you see some of these videos and when you see the footage, there's some things that you can't just 1, 2, 3 action. That's not what happened. People just had cameras out. At the end of the night, there was a part in the beginning where I felt like I don't know what I'm gonna do in a few hours to change people's look on their face. People were nervous and unsure and not exactly knowing what to do. And at the end of the night, there were angels crying in corners in the hallways. There were angels that had to step out of the room to throw up. There were angels that had to go rock in a corner real quick and come back. And it was more so about the truth of MK Ultra. It wasn't anything like graphic or whatever. It was the truth about MK Ultra and contracts and blueprints. That's what made everybody sick. And I had a book. I had a list, and I was ready to just bang, 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 like try to get it out, right? And I got nervous. And I was sitting there like, how am I going to do this? I said something. We let out about what we know about MK Ultra to the point that it sent my whole body in shock. I couldn't feel my face. I couldn't feel the tip of my nose. It's like all the blood rushed to the tip of my nose. I laid on the floor, and I think it was like 30 degrees outside. Someone had a fan on me. The floor was ice cold. There were angels that were putting like cold paper towels. That didn't work. When I tell you, like, I feel like I left my body or a part of me died again. I don't know what happened. Or if that's what you call getting set free. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I couldn't feel my body after that. Like, angels were like tapping on my arms and on my legs, and they were like, do you feel that? And I'm like, no. Like, I had to be covered in ice for a little bit because it was almost like I tripped on my own system. And I when everybody's face in the room, when they understood what was going on, was scary. I've been in a crowded room before. I've been in a room full of thousands of people naked and knowing everybody is plotting on me. And I've never seen that look on people's face. And it scared me. And it sent my body into shock for over 30 minutes. And I couldn't feel anything. Like I don't even know how to express it. I couldn't feel anything. That's why I would like for the angels will be on here soon. And they're going to have a conversation with you guys, and it's just going to be them. They're going to tell you what they've seen. And I don't know if you just need it to come from another everyday person like you for you to hear it and for it to hit home, because I'm an everyday person just like you too. But I think that people see us in a weird way sometimes because they see somebody who had to deal with elite celebrities, or they see somebody who has been through CPS, or they see somebody who has been hurt, and they just feel like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And the angels will talk to y'all soon, but I just feel like you don't understand that there's people who build people's lives based on a remote. And everybody has that. Having a social security number, if you have a social security number, you are a product of the government. It depends on how much they want to tweak you to be the person they want you to be, by how much it goes from farther from that. Building a contract and blueprints and having a contract on your life, it depends on how much trauma has happened. This has been going on for decades. So I don't need you to look at me like, whoa, she's telling me this and this is something new, so this is just her. No, it has been going on for decades. And I'm trying my best. I don't even know what I'm doing, okay? And I'm really trying my best to just hear, because there's somebody else that needs you, and I'm not sure what's gonna come from this. Like I don't want fame. I don't want notoriety. I don't need a media cookie. I've been saying that from the beginning because it still stands. I want to go back to school. I want to be, I don't even know if I want to dance anymore. I just want to teach. Like, I just want to be in a room, not just even babies, just adults and special needs kids and adults that just to have a purpose. I had a purpose. Like, I had a notebook. I had a purpose. I had my own car. I had a home on an acre. I had my own home studio. I was this close to my degree, okay? After 10 damn years, I worked really hard, and I was really close. and it all just got torn apart. And every single time I try, it gets torn apart. And I don't know what this is anymore. And I'm like, God, I built a career that was just like right there. And it wasn't built on media. It wasn't built. It was built on real blood, sweat, and tears. And I know that God probably had something clearly in store for something else. And I know that I need to get over it. Just like I have to start from square one now. Every single time I get somewhere, start all over. Like, we had a house. Okay, like when I got out and I got clean, that took years. Do you hear what I'm telling you? I didn't look like this before. I didn't talk like this before. I didn't walk like this before. I was not this person. Okay, I was a totally different person. I don't even think I was a person. Like, now that I say that out loud, I don't even know what I was. Okay, but I was not this person. Okay, I'm a whole ass person now. I was not this person before, and I'm really trying to see where God is at and all this, and which way are we supposed to jump next, because I know people are plotting on us right now. They want us gone, and if you can't see that and understand how this works, then I don't know what else to tell you, but I am trying to keep pushing through everything that is going on and that has been put in front of me, and every single time it gets torn apart when I get to a point where I'm like, whoa, God, look at me, I did it. It's like, what am I? So I'm overwhelmed. And I'm confused, and I'm looking for God, and it's easier to jump off a bridge right now than to look into what is going on and what is supposed to be next. And I'm just like, God, if everybody was on the same page, you don't hear what I'm telling you. If everybody was on the same page, there's so many of you who watch these videos that I never knew. Okay, so there's some of y'all in South Africa. I got that video. Thank you. I love y'all. Thank you. Never thought that my name would be in South Africa, let alone that you would be hearing me, let alone that you would me. Like, it's me. Like, so and in Australia and in the UK and everywhere, like, off of my pain. Like, this is not I'm not making sense. But do you feel me? Do you? I am trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do so I can go back to school. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm confused, and I'm angry, and I'm hurting, and I know that I everybody is trying their best. These angels, the ones that just walked into the living room, I'm coming. The ones that are sitting by the chat, the ones that just sat on a 3-hour chat with me while I just flipped the hell out, the ones that are trying to tell me to wait a minute, you need to give it to God and you need to be patient, because in those times that you need to wait, I was just saying, I'm on my way, I love you, I'm coming. but thank you. I just need other victims to know you're real, so they can stop being. I don't think that they'll stop being mad at me. I don't care if you're mad at me. A lot of people are mad at me. You just want to get. It's not. You're just gonna have to get in line. You understand what I'm telling you? You're just gonna have to get in line, because if you hate me, you're gonna have to get behind me too. Because I am trying. So there's some survivors who are like, oh, all these people are there for you. They're there for you too. I am trying to point them back your direction. I am not these platforms, and I am not trying to be a platform that I don't want anything from anybody. I want you to hear me. And you don't even have to hear me. Just please. Crimes against humanity is real. You know it. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you hate me. If you're a victim, you know you're not supposed to be somebody's punching bag. You know you're not a price tag. And you don't belong in a retail store. So why are people buying you? Sex work is not work. Especially when you're a child. I was abused as a kid. I'll be 29 years old in a few weeks. But legally, I have DID. And I never thought that I would say that. I never thought I would say out loud that I can't have kids. I can't have kids. The abuse was too much. The pain was too much. And you would be surprised at what they do to teenagers who have eggs and to the boys with their semen in Planned Parenthoods when they want to create more kids to traffic. So for a very long time, still sometimes I hated myself because I can't have kids. I'm shocked that I am talking to you right now, and I'm gonna post this. I don't know anymore. I'm the people like the people with big platforms. It's like there's it's not a joke. It's not a game. So I hope you understood what I'm trying to say right now, because I came on here and I've been trying to put shit into words in the last few days, and I don't know anymore. And I'm trying my best to figure out what's next. I'm really trying my best to be strong. You know, some people will tell us like, you're so strong, and it makes me mad. It makes me mad because I don't feel that way. You know? I can't wait till the footage comes out. I don't know if we'll do something again in the next few months. I don't know what these next few hours hold, because there's been a lot of things that have happened in the last 24 hours, so nothing is just going to end. Nothing is just going to end. We're not going to go live happily ever after. We found a place right now. Do you know how many notifications I have on Zillow and Hotpads and Trulia and Rentals.com right now? And nothing is coming through. And I'm just like, and everywhere else is like, there's going to be a problem there and there and there. And I don't know what's next. I don't want to be on the internet forever. That's not my plan either. I can't do this for a third year. It's not going to be a thing either. I hope you can. There's so many people that are making up so much shit, and I hope you can hear what I'm saying. That if you see this Black Lives Matter stuff in it, do Black Lives really matter? Because where are these black creators at that don't talk about human trafficking? Where are the black creators at this whole time? When we were at this live event, Shipper, who I just posted about, she said something that I want to post, and somebody caught it on video. She's like, I'm standing here and I'm shocked. Where are our people? And I'm like, they scared. They really scared. Black people are scared. Everybody is scared. But I don't know. I challenge a lot of the black creators to step out of that comfort zone and step off that bandwagon for a second. Stand on the truth and not fall on the bandwagon. I challenge you to that. If you hate me, you'd accept the challenge, right? And if it's truth, you do it anyway because it's the right thing to do. A lot of people are scared. I'm scared. Those babies are scared. And if you feel like being in a tunnel is too scary, if you feel like being in a room where somebody is standing outside the door, I have heard people stand outside the door and trade money for me and and plot about like, okay, so full house sex, does that include anal? No. That doesn't include anal unless you want to charge another $1,000. If that, it's another $1,400, depending on how long and depending on bloodline connections. If you got the permission from there, do you understand how many times I've had people standing outside of a door and plotting on me? It's the scariest thing ever. It's almost like waiting for somebody to hurt you. I think that's scarier than being hurt for me. I'd rather just get it over with because hearing it is a lot. And I feel like that's the part that doesn't leave your mind more than being hurt. One day, I will have my studio. And then maybe it's not even a studio. Maybe I'll just have that moment where I can be that person that I really want to be. I don't know if I want to dance anymore. I just want to be that person that someone needs for a second. Not on the internet. Just someone that person needs. And right now, I think this is, yes, this is where God is like, this is what we need to do. There's an army that's been created. We started off with people just like, some people hurt us. A lot of people didn't. And now a lot of the world is watching. What's scary is I know that if we died today, more people would move. That sucks. Because I'm not dead yet. People are waiting still. Maybe we will do another live event soon, and if we do it, I think I'm just gonna open it. I think we'll straight out tell you what state we're going to. And if we go, that's the way we go. We had a DNR. We had every precaution set for this past week, and the angels have shielded us with their lives. Some people were like, you had on a bulletproof vest. I've never wore a vest. You know that? Never wore a vest. And the only time that I wore something close to protection was one time I had to walk a military grade level gun through a casino, and they didn't want what was in the suitcase to blow up. So they used me to walk it. When I say that I've never had a vest on, I was really upset about wearing the vest. Actually, it was the security who said, Allie, you have to let us keep you safe. And I've never had a man look me in my eyes and tell me, I want to keep you safe. And you got to let me do it. And they meant it. All of them, every person that was in that room said, we will keep you safe. And they meant it. And that's the most scariest and wildest thing that has ever happened to me in my life. I thank you, because I'm in shock. I really am. I'm the only person that has looked at me like that, and I'm gonna do whatever the hell I need to do is my mom, Shelly Carter, that you know. And these angels flew from 4 corners of the United States. And some had never even met us before, and they looked us in our eyes and said, we don't keep you safe. And they did. We're still sitting here. Look at God. I don't know. I hope this made some type of sense, because I don't know. I really don't know. I ate like a cow that weekend. I ate like a baby. I slept. I don't know. I don't, I don't know. And I feel like a lot of this life I just said, I don't know. I'm trying. And dancers, alley babies. I love you guys, and I'm trying really hard to get back to what I promised you. And if I can't do that, then I'm really proud of you for still going. Because you remember when we always talked about in class to be unique and to not apologize for who you are. We used to have swag day every time in my classes that like kids could just wear what they wanted and be accepted for what they wore to feel something, because you know kids have the wildest things going on. So like I would have swag day in my classes and my kids would show up in the most wildest things, and they wouldn't know if they could wear something without being judged. They wanted to wear these wild shoes or these hip-hop shirts or whatever. And you know some kids, you know some people are like they not really hip-hop kids, leave them alone. Like they are having fun, right? That's all that matters. So they would show up and they would wear these clothes and they would look at me like, Miss Ali, you dress like people are not making fun of you. So you know what I would do? I would go put on and find the wildest outfit, like big old parachute pants and a really wild shirt to put on and mix match shoes. And I would be like, look, if I can walk in here and have a good time and not worry about what anybody else is doing, then we're going to do the same. And I know that now I'm kind of getting that back in a weird way. I feel like it bit me in the butt. I really feel like it bit me back. But you see what it does to be unique? You see what it does to be you? It's hard, but it pays off somehow, some way. So please keep dancing or doing whatever you want to do. You know how I am. A lot of my dancers know how I am. That I don't, and if you didn't want to dance, I don't care. If you wanted to go stand on the stage and just smile, I don't care. If you feel like I just want to dance for a little bit, but I wanted to go do school or I want to do football or another activity or I want to do the art and I want to play a piano, good. Like I support you. And I'm not gonna be upset. I wanna be happy for you, and I want you to be happy for you. I'm sorry if my promise does not stand where I wanted it to stand or what we had talked about. And I really wanted you guys to know that. I could have said that in the beginning. But yeah. I don't know. I don't think I did this good. I don't think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You and I both know something's wrong. So what are you gonna do? I don't. My major thing is to get everybody on the same page. The game is over. If we get everybody on the same page, it's done. So I hear feet. I think that's my cue because one of the angels made rigatoni. And we gotta go and get in our car soon. So I'm gonna go. And I hope something of this makes sense. Where are those Christian artists? You know? You tagged all the politics. But have you thought to message a Christian artist that sings on spiritual warfare? Have you messaged them and said, hey, do you know about crimes against humanity? Are you going to touch it? Are you going to talk about it? Because you sing about spiritual warfare. You preach about it on a Sunday. You go in and you look good on a Thursday for choir rehearsal. Do you know what's going on? Keep waking people up, please. It's happening slow. It's just really not happening fast enough for me. I don't know what's next. And that is the scariest part. And I'm learning patience. But my patience is running really thin. And I'm not suicidal. But I'm not trying to take the easy way out either. So, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. It was nice to meet you. And thank you, 90s angels, everybody that listen. I love you guys. I pray we talk sooner than later, or pray we meet up sooner than later. Something. Yeah. Thank you for watching my snot. Bye.